So without further ado, guys, let's get into the trending topic of the day. Fortnite just got removed from Apple and Google. And I, for one, want to know what the people think, okay?
Woo!
So right off
Tech
the
wars.
top, we're going to do a straw poll. Boys, you know how we do
Tech
it.
wars.
And
This is the tech against government. Let's go. What's happening?
Amish, what do you think about it?
It was a wild week, man. They brought the heat on these guys. They brought the heat on them. They really gave them a hard time. All of the Pramila Jayapal just ripped and dipped on all of them, I think. And then there's that Republican guy, and he's basically like, "Hey, you're not going to trick people."
Whoa! What are you talking
Biden,
about? You're talking about the hearing. We're talking about.
I'm talking about the tech hearings.
No. We're talking about Epic just had a giant scandal with Apple and Google where they set them up for a trap.
Yeah.
Google and Apple fell into that trap, and then and that's the whole controversy. Hey, have you not read the show notes? Amish, do your homework.
Oh my God. This was in the show notes. I don't know why I thought I knew about it. We talked on the phone about this yesterday, and we didn't talk about this. So I was like, "Oh, okay, got it." My bad, baby. Oh my God, that's terrible. Yeah, that's wild. So what's the trick? Tell me the trick.
Okay,
How
so
did they scam them?
let me run you guys through what happened here. Okay, so a few weeks ago, or I guess it was a few days ago, Epic changes their payment system, and they put in the thing right here. I'm showing you guys right now. Now you can pay with either the Google Play Store or you can replace Apple Pay Store, or you can do Epic Direct Payment. So they circumvented the payment processor on these mobile games because the mobile apps or the mobile app stores are charging a 30% markup, okay? They're charging a 30% markup on what's going on. So Epic just circumvented them, and then Apple kicked them off their platform because they're pissed off. Epic knew they were going to do that and had planned a media piece, which I'm going to show you guys right now. So first of all,
so good.
You guys have to understand the context, okay? Because you have to know, I mean, a lot of the kids in our chat right now, they're like 18 years old. They're born in the 2000s. They don't know what 1984 is. They just hear 2 decades ago. So first we have to show you the 1984 Macintosh computer. This is like what they were known for is this culture breaking, we're breaking out of the norm, don't be controlled by the system commercial. Check it out.
Today we celebrate the first glorious anniversary of the information purification directives. We have created, for the first time in all history, a garden of pure ideology, where each worker may bloom, secure from the pests, obeying contradictory reports. Unification of the rules is more powerful a weapon than any fleet or army on earth. We are one people, with one will, one resolve, one cause. Our enemies shall talk themselves to death, and we will bury them with their own confusion. We shall prevail.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1980.
Okay, you guys get the idea, okay? So Apple did that back in the day, back when they were cool, back when they weren't corporate and all this. They didn't introduce a new iPhone every single year with the only change being a headphone jack being taken away. That's you know, back in the day when they were cool. So now Epic had it planned to do a parody, kind of almost like a diss track, dude. It was almost like a YouTuber diss track.
Huge diss track.
Where they put it on them. Number 8 on trending.
Fortnite.
3 million views, dude. It's called Free Fortnite. Let's check it out. This is like, you got, Amish, context, because I know you didn't read the show notes.
I'm so sorry, dude. I'm such an idiot. This is amazing.
2 hours. This was like 2 hours after they got removed from the store. They had it all planned. You can't animate something like this that fast.
We celebrate the anniversary of the platform unification directives. For years they have given us their songs, their labor, their dreams. In exchange, we have taken our tribute, our profits, our control. This power is ours and ours alone. We shall prevail.
So they do the same thing, and they're like, stop 2020 from becoming 1984. So they dropped the diss track on him right there.
They ripped it.
So good.
But-
It's so good.
Yeah, and
Ripped and dipped on him.
at the same time, they dropped 2 lawsuits against both Apple and Google. They're suing both of them, saying, "Hey, you can't basically block other payment processors from coming in and competing. You guys have a monopoly, basically. Now, now that you actually know what's going on, I'm going to re-put this poll in here, and we're going to see what everybody thinks. Amish, now tell me your take. Actually, Scoter, I want you to tell me your take.
I'm going to take the poll.
Because you see...
Okay.
Tell me what you think.
So, first, I think it's super cool that they had it already. Like, it wasn't that they did this thing, and then they had to wait and, like, make a video and then release a lawsuit. They trapped them. They wanted to do this. And what is interesting about it is Epic Games is a titan right now. They're huge. And you need someone like that to go against these terrible policies that Apple has. And like a small business isn't going to be able to take on Apple at their game here. So Epic Games doing this is a huge deal because really they're fighting for the little guy too in this, not just themselves, which is, I think, a bold move, but it makes sense because I'm sure Epic Games could make billions more without this policy.
Yeah, and by working out a deal on the side, that's what I thought this was about when I first saw this come out. I thought like Epic was trying to work out a deal for themselves by pressuring Apple and Google, and they were going to get that special deal, and they were going to come back to the App Store when they got a better cut, like 10%, 15%. Right. This is already true of Amazon. I don't know if you guys know this. Amazon does not pay the full 30%. They pay like 15% for their Amazon Prime video thing. So they've already worked. Jeff Bezos, he didn't do it for the culture. He didn't do it for the people. He did it for number one. In fact, he's probably happy that everyone else is paying 30 and he's paying 15. He's like, all right, we like it. We like how it is.
Yeah. But these guys did it for the culture, though, for sure. This plan, the fact that it was planned out, like Scoter said, it's planned out. It is like a sticking it to them. And these guys, because they own a gaming company, it's almost like they said, let's set a little trap.
Yes.
I know, like they basically got in a room and said, okay, what are we going to do? Go spend $1 billion on lawyers and go head to head with Apple? What if we set a little trap? And this is what you have to be a CEO right now. Like you have to, that's very aggressive, very tight, and very much for the culture, man. Beautiful moves, man. I love these new tech people.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing is like, is it just, I mean, we'll have to see what Tim Sweeney ultimately does if they fold or whatever. But I think right now, everything he's done has shown it kind of actually being legitimately for the culture. I mean, look at this. Look, when you actually go to the complaint, I know no one's actually reading the lawsuit, right? But when you go to the complaint, they're not actually saying, hey, we just want special treatment. They're saying, we want the monopoly gone. We want the monopoly gone. And that's the right move. You don't go, hey, we want special treatment. And actually, they've said, we don't want special treatment. They say, we want to change the system. And I think the biggest thing you can compare it to is like, look, obviously, no one works for free. Apple doesn't work for free. Google shouldn't have to work for free as far as providing the Play Store. But when you look at what other payment processor charges are, it's like 3%.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
30, it's wild.
It
is basically monopoly.
It's too much, right? Like 30%. If you're a developer, imagine this. You develop a game, right? You work so hard on it. And then just to put it on Apple, just to put it on an iPhone, hey, hand me 30% of your top line revenue. Not even like you before server costs, before everything. Hand me 30% of everything you have, and then you can pay your stuff. That's too much.
The hearings were very aggressive too. The way they took over the market, like they bought up their competitors. It was very. They're acting very like monopolistic, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, I mean, now you're caught up, Amish, because that's what you're referencing is the hearings where Bezos, Zuck, Cook, Pichai all come in front of the House Judiciary, and they have to answer a bunch of quote tough questions. Did you see this, Will? Did you see what was going on here? Did you see this happen?
I didn't watch. I watched a few highlight clips, but I didn't watch a lot of it. No.
This guy's great.
Let me summarize it for you guys. A bunch of boomers are asking big tech people questions that they don't know anything about.
Yeah. It's always embarrassing, man. They always sound so dumb on these.
It's just, I don't know. Like, what? Can't you prepare a little bit? Well, actually, I would say the bigger problem is because they have 5 minutes. It's actually the structure of this thing that's the problem. They'll ask them a question, and then they won't really let them respond because they're trying to, like, get the most out of their time. Does that make
That's
sense?
the worst
Okay.
part about all these hearings. I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time.
Yeah, it's so petty.
You can
It's
never
like
get
I
a
had
real
15
answer.
seconds. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't. Yeah, they're aggressive, man. I mean, look, this like even we were talking about this yesterday on the phone, Stephen, about like they're monopolies now, and monopolies need to be broken. And I agree with that sentiment, but I don't know if America believes in that. Like in general, it seems like monopoly. That's like the championship ring of business. You're gonna take a man's business away right when they're gonna get that abundance, that 30%, that tasty. Do you think there's enough of a fight inside the parties against that? Because it seems like they're happy to just take the money from them.
Yeah, the problem is the people with the money are all the people who want to keep the monopolies. Like that's the problem, right?
Yeah, it's the influence.
Very influential on the government.
Yeah, and I think in a normal political scenario that there would be a lot more anti-monopoly sentiment. But one of the strange things that's happening with the rise of like the CCP is like there's almost like a political feeling of like, well, maybe we should let our best companies run free so that like we can have American companies at the top.
I've literally heard that said. Like, hey, we're in a global economy. We need to basically let our guys do crony capitalism because we want to compete with China, who's cheating too. They're cheating. We got to cheat.
It's like the auto wars. It's like those Japanese auto wars. Like they were all together, and then the Americans are like, "Hey, we got to like operate independently." Similar thing happening now. Yeah, they're basically going to hand over all this power to these corporations because I don't think there's enough political will to just stop any kind of business. These people love businesses, and like there might be, we were talking about this yesterday. Like there's all this focus on competition, but it's also like the spoils of the competition is that now I own the whole market, and so you're going to take away my 30%. I worked hard on my business, because this guy too, this Republican guy, he didn't bring it up at all. Like I understand, like they all sound kind of dumb. The lefties were bringing up the points that you're making, where it's like, hey, you shouldn't have a monopoly, you're going to be abusive, whatever. This guy is bringing up like, hey, you're not going to help Biden, are you?
Dude,
don't help Biden.